Welcome to the Keeping It Business podcast. I'm Adam Payne, a multiple small business owner, business mentor and growth coach, and your host here on Keeping It Business. Plan, envision and articulate what you see in the future, both for yourself and for your employees. Extract from Michael Gerber's The E-Myth. Now, if you can't articulate your plan, you don't own it. When you define the future, the plan begins to shape itself to reality. So business planning, and what is it? Well, in theory, it's a systematic approach leading to breakthrough performance. In practice, it's the most effective business management tool if you want to make the absolute best use of your time, money, and resources. So what does it actually do for us? Well, it forces a clear identification of how we move ourselves to our key objectives. It creates an alignment of all the facets of your organisation, your business, on the key strategic initiatives. And additionally, it fosters a data-orientated, fact-based approach using key performance indicators, benchmarking exercises, business diagnostics, audits. It also reinforces the vision, but also clearly defines how we will get there based on who does what by when. What it doesn't do is achieve results if the management process isn't changed, i.e. moving to what we call a plan, do, check management style. The PDCA cycle, created and invented by Deming, a quality guru, many years ago. And the plan is to recognise an opportunity and a plan to change. The do is to test the change, carry out small scale testing and studies. The check, we review the study, analyse the results and identify what we've learnt. And then the act, take action based on what you learned in the study. So this plan, do, set, check, act cycle. So when we start to implement an action, we set up a governance process, a review process on a regular basis to run through that plan, do, check, act cycle. Now this for me is absolutely key part of shifting the dials within your business, the implementation and execution. Now coming back to the business planning and understanding why we use it, it identifies the few, they think around the 80-20 rule, long-term breakthrough objectives that are critical to the long-term success of your company. And it also links those major objectives with specific action plans. This also helps us to focus and align our internal organisation. So think employees, functional departments, outsourced partners like VAs and things like that, to achieve those long-term objectives as well. So we've got complete alignment around, everybody's got complete alignment around what we want to do and what we want to achieve. But the main thing for me, in my opinion, is it turns the vision and strategic plan, the 3 to 5 year view, into a year-over-year action plan that is measured, monitored and accountable. Now when we think breakthrough or key objective, we start to think, what areas do I need to focus on? A key or breakthrough objective is an act of overcoming or penetrating an obstacle or restriction, a major achievement or success that permits further progress. A quantum leap as such, something we don't know how to do yet. As mentioned earlier, one of the best ways to get a feel on how we do this is through business benchmarking and auditing against a set criterion. This is something my clients go through on our business masterclasses, both online and workshop. They look at 12 areas of the business. Examples are sales and marketing, leadership, digital marketing, well-being, quality aspect, product, customer experience. And there are probably about 120 plus questions that need to be assessed and graded. So when we bring it back to what should I focus on, we can break it down to the critical few that creates the most value, positions you to capture the most share, sustain the value created and close the biggest, most important gaps to your vision and strategy. Breakthrough thinking drives us to be the best. But what is breakthrough for one company may not be for another, and that's why you have to go through that diagnostic, that benchmarking and understanding. So why use business planning? Well, most companies fall short of the plans. Most businesses have a vision. In fact, 97 to 98%, probably a little bit higher, have a vision. Probably only 80% of those have a clear strategic plan. But when we get down and start looking at the successes on execution, there are only probably 50-55% that see some success. And there's only 33% that actually see significant success. And when we look into that, and why is that we're only getting that small amount of percentage, it's implementation and execution. We revert to type and go back to working the day job. It is difficult to implement the 90-day transformation and actions. So we've gone from that 3 to 5 year into 1 year into quarterly actions. Without that governance process, without the review process, without us taking accountability and responsibility, it becomes hard. We revert back to type. We end up with a company vision that is framed on a wall, looks fantastic, but it's just a dream. The strategic plan that ends up on a shelf, just a wish list. And as I said before, we revert back to type. Tactical activity with little or no improvement. We need to take our company vision, strategic plan, our desired end state and company aspirations, and create the strategic objectives that drive competitive advantage and profitability. We need to extract our 1 year incremental objectives of improvement priorities, track the return on investment and effort with key performance indicators coupled with detailed action plans. And this needs to be bolstered with a governance and review process that has a constancy of purpose, process and language. Now, I've been doing business planning or strategic and tactical planning for a number of years now. I was trained within lean manufacturing on a process called the policy deployment process, and I've also created my own with a vision to action. Excuse me. So I know this stuff works. One particular business that I was working in was a 1.2 billion turnover business, 38 sites, and I implemented this business planning, this policy deployment process across the businesses globally, and we saved 25 million in the first year of doing it. That's on top of what we were already looking at from a stretch point of view, and that was through breakthrough and continuous improvement. I've seen businesses turn their business planning and their structure because they've got the governance process in. I've seen businesses lose a £1.5 million project, a 7.5 million turnover business, lose a £1.5 million order book and rally round with the business planning because they were in that review process, were in that frame of mind that and working method that they can pull together. Everybody knows what they've got to do, and look at the strategy and cascade that through the business. You know, I use this in my businesses. I use this with from solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, up to, as I say, billion turnover businesses. So I know that it works. So one of the key things for me is business planning has to be embedded in your business, become part of your business DNA and the way you work. So we get that 3 to 5 year view. So you may start out with a 3 year view of the smaller businesses, 3 year. You may even look at 12 months, but you've got that view, and then you break that down into the quarterly actions, and they are reviewed, monitored, accountable in that PDCA management style. So you can flick as you need to if economic impact happens or markets change. You'll be able to become that agile way of moving and transferring focus, and everybody is completely aligned through it. So business planning is very, very critical, and it doesn't get the importance that it does. We tend to, as I say, create the vision, create the strategic plan. One goes on the wall, the other one goes in the drawer, and we carry on with our day job. We have to make time to plan. That is the way we grow, and getting out our comfort zone, looking at things the way they're going to stretch. We don't know what we don't know yet. We push the barriers. So that's a little take on business planning and why we should do it. If you'd like to know more about our business planning masterclasses and courses, then please visit www.adampayne.me for more information. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it's the courage to continue that counts.